Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm David, the Brickin Grandpa, and today we have an exciting build. I've been holding off building this for a while and I'm ready to crack it open and get going on the build. Today we are going to build the Ultimate Collector Series AT-ST. This looks like a fantastic Lego Star Wars set. I'm very excited about this one. I saw it in person at the Lego store just a few weeks ago, and it kind of inspired me to want to open the box and get to building. So let's do that. Let's open this box and start building. Woo! That's a lot of bags. Let's organize this. All right, in this set we've got 14 bags. Here's the manual with 279 pages and a small sticker sheet. Thank goodness it's a small one and not a bunch. So it looks like there's only 5 stickers. So that's very exciting. Let's start building this. Bag 2 complete. All right, so bag 4 is complete now. And here you have the AT-ST starting to take shape. It's always interesting when you're putting these together that have legs and you're like only have one of the legs, or you have one of 3 or 4. And, you know, obviously it can't stand up on its own. So you guys got to be really careful with it. I think up next is bag 5, and maybe 5 and 6 will finish off the other leg, and it should be able to pretty much stand up on its own. So let's keep building. right, so we just got done with bag 7, and I really like how this is turning out. Very wide base. You can see that it's going to be pretty, it needs this support because the body up here is going to be pretty substantial. So it's got to have that nice wide support stance. And the details are really good. I have had to backtrack a couple times just because, you know, you miss a couple things and you go back and you look, and you know, sometimes you just gotta be careful, make sure you get all your steps in there. But I really like the build so far. So let's keep building, see how much farther we get along here. All right, bag 10 complete. We're getting somewhere. Got the base nice and sturdy here. Looks like we're building the inside of the AT-ST. Got some nice little control panels here. Looks like the drivers sit here. Not sure how these little, if there's any minifigures in. I don't guess there's any minifigures with this one. But if there were, I don't know how they would sit because they have these really nice comfy seats that don't have any studs for the minifigures. So I guess we just have to pretend that they actually have a driver. But because there's no way they can actually sit in this. So anyway, looking good. We have 4 more bags to go. So let's keep building. All right, bag 13 is complete. We've got the cockpit. I guess that's what you call this of this machine. And we're going to attach it to the bottom, to the legs. Hopefully it goes on there smoothly. And it sure does. Pretty stable. Got a little bit of action moving back and forth. All right, so that completes bag 13. Last bag. All right, so now that I've finished building this iconic UCS AT ST walker, just kind of go over a couple of things. You know, this is a 1,500 piece set, and so really the big question is this a must-have UCS set or is it a pass? Now, from my build experience, I will tell you this is an 18 plus set. I'm sure some younger kids can do it that are really good at this stuff. But you are dealing with a lot of Technic internal structure, tons of gray pieces, which can get confusing pretty fast, and a very symmetrical build. Now, the build itself is actually broken into a few main sections. The core frame, which is the Technic construction, the leg construction, and then the head and cockpit. So the Technic frame, which is what you can't really see, is where the set really shines. It's not flashy, but it's doing a ton of work structurally, especially for something that stands on just two legs. Now, I'll be honest, there is some repetition, especially in the legs, but it's not boring. And it actually helps you understand how Lego engineered the stability here. It's kind of in my way. So one thing to watch for, it's easy to misplace pieces because of the color similarity. All gray, right? I had to backtrack a couple of times, so be sure and take your time. But overall, it's challenging, but not frustrating. And it has that very UCS style build experience. Now, as far as the structure and the stability, the big concern here was because this is only on two legs, would it stand? Would it be solid? Honestly, it's way more stable than I thought it would be. Lego clearly engineered this with a strong internal Technic spine, wide feet for balance, and slightly thicker leg proportions. And because of that, the model feels solid and secure, even as a display piece. In fact, the lack of articulation actually helps with stability. So it's not going to topple over on your shelf. Shouldn't. Don't hold me to that. But don't expect any type of dynamic posing either. What you see, it's where it is. It doesn't move at all. Whoops, that comes off. Okay, so as far as the details and features go, this is where the UCS treatment really shows. You get a fully detailed cockpit with the opening hatch. You can see the hatch will open up, and you can see nice details. Well, you can barely see, but not very good. But you can see that there's some nice details in there on the seats and display panels, etc. And then you get this rotating head. So we'll put that down. The head rotates, not all the way around, but just a few directions. And you have the laser cannons, which are adjustable right up there on the front. And then you have the display plaque, which you can see there, along with the minifigure. And nicely printed display display plaque, so that's really great. From a display standpoint, this set is really awesome. It's got that Endor feel, and you know, it absolutely stands out on a shelf. What I like, so some of the things I really like about this set, it's rock solid stability. It really is stable. I was really impressed that for a two-legged walker, this thing is very stable. It has a great display presence. It's tall, but it has a compact footprint. It's not going to take up too much space on that on your shelf. It has authentic detailing, both the cockpit, the head shaping, the weapons. It uses smart engineering. The Technic structure is impressive. And of course it has a clean UCS look with that plaque, and it just gives you that collector's feel. What I don't like, listen, this is not a perfect set. There probably are no perfect sets, but this one definitely has some limitations. It has limited articulation, so the legs don't move. They're not bendable, so you're not going to be able to pose this anyway but the way it stands right now. So what you see is what you get. Repetition in the build, especially in the legs, it can feel a bit copy and paste at times, but that's okay. It's what makes it look so great. It has slightly squat proportions, so it looks great, but not 100% screen accurate. Some people say it looks a little chunky. In fact, when I saw it at Lego, I was a little surprised just how chunky it looked. And it is stud heavy throughout, and most of it, and that's, I guess that's kind of common if we are building Lego. But if you like smooth tiled UCS builds, this one still shows a lot of studs. And there is really no way to get the minifigure to actually sit in the cockpit because the seats are way too smooth. They've got those rounded over pieces, so the pilot really is not able to sit. In fact, he slides around inside there, and if he was really in there and really walking, he would die probably. And there's no stud for it either, so you can't really put it in there. But this is a display set, so you're not going to really put that walker or put the minifigure inside of it. It's going to be on display, so I guess that's okay too. So here are my final thoughts. Should you pick up the UCS AT ST? If you're a Star Wars collector or love Imperial vehicles, this is a strong addition. If you want a play set or a posable model, this might not be for you. For me, this is a display first, engineering focused UCS set that absolutely delivers. Just don't expect tons of play features. Let me know in the comments, is this a set you intend to buy? Or have you already bought one? Or are you skipping this UCS set altogether? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more Lego builds right here on Brickin Grandpa. And remember, you are never too old to build Lego.